Oh God. All right. Who did it? Did he do it? Did she do it? Oh. I'm doing too much. Alright, it's fine. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright, last time we left off, we're in this room. She's sus because she wasn't like, oh hey, you don't need to look and investigate. Oh wait, I already did everything for you, which is hella sus. Brown, brown. Oh my god, there's a ringing in my ear. It's not suspicious, but it's certainly one other thing.
Hi.
Give me a moment.
Give me a sec. Doing what?
Eh?
Making out.
It's simple.
That's not...
Yeah, interesting.
I see. Hi. Easy enough. That's not it.
Are you for real?
Can have been fired? Not. I don't think it has, but I want to know for sure because if I'm wrong.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All good.
Well, that's all I can find.
Hello. Rage.
They're not taking this seriously.
focus.
Thanks.
Where were you on a murder? Night of the murder.
Hi.
It's nothing.
Hey man, he's the ultimate musician.
What?
Slow down.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is that your boyfriend or something? Is that your friend? More than just your friend?
That's not
Broski.
important. It's simple.
Broskies always stick together.
He's like, I don't like you.
That's... That's...
Hmm. Yep.
My man.
Oh, you fishing? The grind don't stop. Data was fishing last night. You caught an Oreochromis. You're almost there to 1,000. Oh, you're so close.
Not okay.
Bro, she a fishing grunt master. Because this is all a game. That's why he's messing with all of you guys.
Wait.
Come again?
Those footsteps.
No, seriously.
No, serious. Who's wearing
See.
this?
Eh?
Man.
Sneakers. How's your game? We're playing a murder where it's it's an investigation game, and I'm asking people for clues, and yeah. So far, I'm just gathering evidence and talking to these people. It's like a story game.
Don't say that.
So everyone's gonna we're gonna need everyone to go walk down this hallway, and if your footsteps matches, you're the killer.
This sucks.
No. I mean, what do you mean promoted my... I mean, I just started not that long ago.
Where?
Bwah.
Come again?
That review kind of off. I can't play. That's bugging the crap out of me. Salmon. Give that fish to that kitty up there. You should promote. What do you mean promote? No one's here. Wait, I had a knife missing from it. The missing knife. Oh, well. I don't know what. I don't know. Somebody was venting. Well, it's obviously too late now. The pantry. Someone was eating snacks from the pantry.
Where?
What else could I find? Oh, the whiteboard. Oh, duh. I've been really close to each other. There couldn't be a more perfect time to These are two things. No! Wait a minute. No. No. I don't want to go. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Oh, fuck. I'm not ready to start. I don't want to go to class. Oh, okay. There's more time.
Hang on.
Oh. So we need to find the other.
That's...
As I was saying,
Good in Diana.
Jeez.
Alright, calm down.
I'm talking. Can't you see?
Alright. See you guys. I'm out. But hold up. I think I want to go talk to Desmond. What up?
Get to the point.
Get to the... Oh, shit! No, I'm taking my time. Fuck you. What? I can't go down there? Bruh, come on. I'm trying to investigate. Or wait a minute. Stop staring at me. What? Wait, what? Oh, I'm going to the Diana to go to the fucking... I'm confused. Where do I need to go? Oh, the laundry room. Oh, okay. Fuck. Alright. Well, have fun at work. Don't work too hard. Die fucking Anna. Have fun. Do I smell some crocodile tears? What, does it work with emojis? I think I smell crocodile tears. What? I don't know. This can't happen. This can't be happening. Then it was sinning.
No. Oh.
How does she know this?
I see.
Sorry.
Feeling. Diana, you're a little sus. I ain't gonna lie.
So,
That's...
where?
What you yelling at me for the fuck? For me? What you say for me for? Wait, this is the wrong way. Just the two I wanted to see. The larger girl was comforting the smaller girl. Bruh.
Hello?
Unacceptable!
Seriously?
Look for clues.
Impossible! Moving on.
Yes, it's Diana.
Think this through.
What?
Huh?
What the fuck? on my way back from the pharmacy. What? He was gonna go to the...
That's...
Strange.
Bit complicated.
Leftover clothes.
Eh?
So,
How should I put it?
After the morning announcement.
sure.
Grace lied to me about calling in sick. If I know what...
Eh?
How should I put it?
Wait, you saw the black car?
Too much for me.
Oh, fuck. Here we all go. Trinkets may zap you. Jesus, this music is stressing me out.
Fingers crossed.
Listen to me.
I'm not ready for a fucking trial! I can barely survive the last one.
It's me.
Yeah.
Hi.
Right.
Let me find just blast doors.
Huh?
Oh, he died. He disappeared.
Eh?
the tree's opening. All right, Desmond, quickly, tell me what you were going to say.
Shit.
Holy!
This is really happening? I know, I'm fucking scared. We're so screwed. We're totally... No, no one's going to die.
It is how it is.
Game over, man! Game over!
Hold your horses.
Who here? People working together to solve a murder.
Are we ready?
Do you think?
It'll be okay.
No, it's not.
True.
Oh.
What? A message from the killer. For the killer? Wait, what?
What did you say?
I want to help.
Yeah. Diana, that's so... Oh my god, Diana is so...
Come on.
That's true.
Dumbass!
Can I go now?
Slow down.
Yo, broski, wait up. He's in love with him. Oh, man. Never speak again. Damn. On me.
Rise and shine. Isn't this lovely? How interesting.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The show must go on.
Oh, crud! Hey. We can't give up.
I've been angry over the mock trial. How much people resented me for telling the truth. How they twisted this. I am angry, but they didn't mean I wanted to be right. Things like this will no exist in stories. Really was so I sit there on my podium. Inflicted. I think this tragedy could have been avoided had people just listened to me. Regardless, I can't let myself be consumed by what ifs. Though the other may have failed at preventing Wolfgang Thorn, I, at the very least, can solve it. Let's just be normal. And the game started at 9. Let's do it. Oh, let's see how long this takes.
let's get this started, shall we?
Ain't no food in there, kitty.
Welcome back to the trial grounds, everyone. Unlike previously, today will be no circus. No mockery woven with stitches and needles. A true, fair, and proper trial will commence. A battle of wits between the blackened and the spotless. I doubt I have to explain the rules to you again. But even so, you must vote for who you believe is the blackened. If the blackened receives the majority of votes, only they will be punished, and the rest of you will resume your killing game experience. However, if you vote for the wrong person, then expect no sympathy from your hosts. All spotless students will meet a tragic end, while the blackened will be granted release from this academy. Happy discussing! We pray for your survival and success.
Can someone please break this silence?
I don't want to talk about this.
Wolfgang deserves justice. But putting everyone's lives on the line like this is just cruel.
Oh, crap. Without a lawyer, we're totally screwed.
Whenever I turn my head, I keep expecting to see him at his podium.
Oh, don't cry, Toshiko. He's in a better place now, you hear?
Whichever one of you sick bastards did this, whatever it takes, no matter if I have to kick the brains out of every single person here, I'll find you.
Do you really gotta resort to violence?
He's chubbier than I thought.
Let's just stay calm, okay? Making peace with our situation is, the first step in handling it. How the hell can I stay calm when there's a killer on the loose? That bastard is watching us right now, fully content putting our lives on the line. Is that what you call peace? Being at the mercy of some dickhead silent observer?
Well,
Why'd they put an X next to him? That's this damn.
nobody knows for sure if the killer is even a silent observer. If anything, the killer might try to feign innocence through other means. For instance, pretending to be outspoken about the case.
That's true.
Are you accusing me of something?
I mean, what you did during the investigation seems really suspicious.
What did Grace do?
What did Grace do?
She stood in front of Wolfgang's dorm room and wouldn't let anyone go inside. Intentionally or not, it really hindered our investigation.
True.
Because of Grace, almost everyone who planned to investigate Wolfgang's dorm gave up and went elsewhere. It was only after some of us started protesting that she finally relented. You know, for someone who seems so adamant about finding Wolfgang's killer, it's odd she tried to conceal potential evidence.
I'm not saying Grace is definitely the killer. I just think we should be cautious of her.
She has an alibi, though.
Huh?
Grace couldn't have murdered anyone, 'cause she went to the game tournament.
Grace attended the tournament?
Shocker.
Does that rule her out from committing the murder?
Well, yeah. We had to be at the dining hall by 9 a.m.-ish, which was like half an hour before the murder. Nobody left the tournament after it started either. Nobody I know of, anyway.
There weren't many of us there. Had someone disappeared, it would have been obvious.
So, Grace is off the hook? Wow, that plot thread resolved itself quicker than I was anticipating.
So Jean, Grace, and Kai attended Cassidy and Jet's game tournament.
And me.
And Mark.
Damon and I also attended the tournament. We can also vouch for Grace.
You guys aren't lying, are you?
No, we're not.
What the heck? Are you seriously doubting 8 testimonies?
If the 8 of you were really together when Wolfgang was discovered, then Kai, doesn't that contradict what you said before the investigation?
You
told everyone you and Damon found Wolfgang first. How is that possible if you guys never left the dining hall?
The blackouts.
I never said I didn't leave the dining hall.
But earlier you told us you were with the other attendees.
Alright, let's explain it.
That's because us partygoers left the dining hall together.
Mm-hmm. When the blackout struck, the tournament folk joined arms and headed straight downstairs. I would know. I saw him.
You saw us.
There was a blackout?
Yes, I just told, man.
You don't remember?
Actually, I don't recall a power outage either.
Because he never happened in the same different...
How could that be? Did an alternate timeline converge with ours?
I got it.
I need that emote.
The reason not everyone experienced a blackout is because only the building containing our dorms was affected. If I had to guess, the courtyard and tree area are connected to separate power sources.
So the tournament attendees were affected, yet they left the dining hall? Why not stay put until the power returned?
Man, that's a great question.
Because we were the ones who brought it back. It didn't seem like the power was being restored anytime soon, so we took up the challenge of fixing it ourselves. And just our luck, boom! We found a spare generator lying in one of the storage closets. Of course, then we found Wolfgang.
She's right. The 8 of us split into 4 pairs and inspected a storage room each.
Because of the toaster trinket map, we know which ones too. Eva and Grace check storage closet A. Jet and I check storage closet B. Damon and Kai check storage closet C. And Jean and Mark check storage closet D.
Yeah, I was with Grace. She can confirm being with me too. Yeah, we were together.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry for what I said earlier.
Sorry? You're sorry for accusing me of murder.
Hey, man, it was bound to happen eventually.
Sorry doesn't cut it, you conniving two-faced bitch!
Bitch.
If you really want my mercy, then get on your knees and beg for it!
Whoa, this is not that type of game.
Whoa! Uncool, dude.
Hang on. Even if you aren't involved in Wolfgang's murder, you must know something about his last known whereabouts.
What makes you think she'd be privy to that?
You see, there's proof Grace spent last night with Wolfgang.
I mean, we all heard it.
Grace and Loya Man? Talk about an unexpected pairing.
When I investigated Wolfgang's room, I saw a bunch of golfing equipment inside.
Yeah, everyone knows this. Well, does not everyone know?
Also, there was a blue woman's jacket tossed over the mantle of Wolfgang's bed.
They were
He's right. I also saw the equipment and the clothes.
The clothes are understandable, maybe. But why was golfing equipment in the room?
Yo, little history dude. Wolfgang must have spilt the beans with you, right?
Why would Ulysses know anything?
Common courtesy. If you're gonna have a one-night stand, you gotta let your roomie know in advance.
What?
Common courtesy also says you should watch your mouth around children.
Hey, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I'm getting this right, Ulysses is bunking with Wolfgang?
That we were.
Well, we only shared a dorm for one night.
You aren't bunking with him anymore?
Let me provide some context.
Yeah, y'all motherfuckers didn't hear that.
As you may remember, after Desmond suggested everyone bunk together, the male students were directed to the dining hall. Once there, we played rock, paper, scissors to determine who would partner with who. Jet partnered with Mark, Desmond with Jean, Damon with Kai, and I with Wolfgang. Those were the pairings at the time. However, the following day, Grace and I agreed to swap rooms.
Yeah? Why'd you do that?
Because she wants to fuck.
For reasons.
Reasons?
Totally not suspicious.
It was a win-win situation. I get Grace out of my hair. She gets me out of hers.
You two were originally bunking together?
I feel like this should have been public knowledge.
The pairings were decided to be a game of tic-tac-toe. I wasn't big on my partner being chosen for me. So when the opportunity arose to change that, I took it.
Thus, I became Winona's roommate, and Grace became Wolfgang's.
Can confirm. I watched the whole thing play out.
Since the room swap happened the night after we implemented the bunk buddy system, that would mean Grace and Wolfgang have been bunking for about a day and a half. Ugh, gross.
In that case, Desmond was right about those two being together last night. Grace, did Wolfgang act strange?
Strange.
Like, maybe he said something that stuck out to you, or maybe had trouble getting to sleep.
Oh no, you had to help him go to sleep. I'm sorry.
No. Nothing weird happened last night. Nothing happened last night, but...
You guys had sex. Oh no, big shock twist. Oh no, you guys slept together.
The morning of the murder, this morning, Wolfgang told me he felt sick.
Objection! That's bullshit.
Sick? With a stomachache. It hurt so bad he couldn't get out of bed.
Liar!
I was gonna cancel my plans for today, but he convinced me to attend the tournament. So,
Lion piece of chicken.
right after the morning announcement. And yes, I'm talking about the game tournament. The same one Wolfgang acted all hesitant about attending. Newsflash, I changed his mind after breakfast yesterday.
You changed his mind.
Hold on a sec. That ain't what you told me this morning.
Oh shit!
What did Grace tell you?
Simply put, she felt like competing.
Oh.
Grace knew I planned to compete as well, so she asked me to be her sparring partner, since you needed one to enter the tournament.
She withheld information.
Aye, that she did.
Aye.
Of course, since I now know Wolfgang's condition at the time, I can't say I blame her. If someone you cared for was in a vulnerable position, would you go around and admit that in a killing game? No. You would try to protect that person by saying nothing at all.
When you put it that way, man, sounds rough.
I think it's obtuse.
Now you're just being acute.
Huh?
Say we assume the best of Grace. She withheld information not to trick anyone, but to protect someone she cares about. What then should we make of the glaring contradiction in her testimony?
The hell do you mean, contradiction?
If your bunking partner was too ill to make the short trek to the dining hall...
Uh-oh, why did she...
How did he walk all the way to the boiler room?
Good point. If Wolfgang really were bedridden, he would have stayed in his room.
Now that you mention it, to reach the underground floor,
the meeting.
Wouldn't Wolfgang need to descend like 4
Wait.
flights of stairs?
No. Sir, here's what happened. The note. He was a threat. There was a threat.
It's nothing for a healthy person, but for a guy who's supposedly really sick.
He lied about his health.
It's not my fault it doesn't make sense. It's just what Wolfgang told me.
Yeah. Didn't we decide Grace wasn't the killer anyway?
That's not to say she doesn't know more than she's letting on.
I'm not withholding anything else. Leave me alone.
Learn. Alright, non-stop debate. I'm freaking the fuck out.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain. The last I saw was room.
Okay, hear me out. Secret
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or Wolfgang never.
I wouldn't lie about what he said.
What if Wolfgang used the elevator in the tree?
You're not helping.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain. The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm room.
Okay, hear me out. Secret always.
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or Wolfgang never told Grace he was sick.
Maybe Grace has some kind of reason for lying about what Wolfgang said this morning.
Hold up, pause. Alright, I'm back.
How? If anything, telling you the truth is putting my ass on the line.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain. The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm room.
Okay, hear me out. Secret always.
Cassidy's right. There's probably a secret passageway between Wolfgang's dorm and the boiler room.
You can't just make up secret passageways without evidence.
Yes, that's one of the cardinal.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain. The last I saw Wolfgang, he was...
Okay, hear me out. Secret always.
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or Wolf.
I'm sorry. If Wolfgang was killed in his dorm room, and the killer carried his body to the boiler room, all the evidence should fit together.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got...
We would have found those by now.
Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
No, that's wrong!
Counter! Fuck yeah.
It's true Grace's testimony is inconsistent with where we found Wolfgang's body. But that's not Grace's fault. The only person we should be blaming is Wolfgang himself.
What the heck? Why are you blaming him?
Simple. Because he lied about being sick.
Seriously?
You can cooperate. Can't you, Toshiko? During the investigation, you told me you saw Wolfgang in the hallways at 8:10 a.m.
That's after I left.
Yes, I remember now. Ingrid. She had developed a headache, so I went to the pharmacy to find some medication. The trip itself went fine, but when I returned to the hallway, I found myself face to face
with Wolfgang?
Hold the phone! Toshiko actually saw Wolfgang?
We had a normal, pleasant exchange. He appeared perfectly healthy and even mentioned going to the tournament. Of course, never made it.
I don't want to be that guy, but can anyone confirm this?
Ingrid.
Mm-hmm. I heard them chatting a while in my room. Though I was bedridden like a sitting ghost, I could still make out their voices here and there.
Strange. He told Grace he wouldn't attend the tournament, but then said the opposite to Toshiko.
Sounds like he was telling fibs to conceal his actual intentions.
The notes.
And what's his true plan supposed to be?
To go to the boiler room. Most likely.
I'm lost. What business would a guy like him have down there?
He was threatened.
This is it.
This is it.
During the investigation, I found this note tucked away inside Wolfgang's blazer pocket. A lot of it is water damaged. The paper looks like it was ripped from a notebook, and the handwriting was done in ink.
Oh shit, they're gonna blame the historian.
Some are still legible.
This mentions the boiler room.
Exactly. The fact we found Wolfgang in the boiler room, and this note in his pocket. It can't be a coincidence. This note must be the reason Wolfgang went there.
That mention of a secret sure is suspicious. I'm willing to bet Wolfie's reason had something to do with it.
Agreeing to meet a stranger in some spooky, dark place? Wolfgang had nerves of steel.
Ulysses, Grace, do you remember Wolfgang getting delivered a weird note?
No. The only time I recall him receiving anything was when Tozu distributed those envelopes.
I don't know anything about a note. Really? Wolfgang shared nothing with you guys?
Guess he didn't want them to know what it said.
Right. And if Wolfgang wanted to keep this note a secret, he would obviously want to keep the meeting a secret too.
Then the reason he told Grace he felt sick
was to remove her from the picture. Yeah. Once she's not in the room, Wolfgang has his opportunity to sneak out and head downstairs. That's also why he encouraged her to attend the tournament.
Yep.
Didn't this same guy ask us to share our blackmail with each other? Talk about double standards.
Are we sure he wasn't just trying to protect Grace?
There's no evidence.
Maybe he knew he was meeting someone dangerous, so he thought it would be safer not to involve her.
That does sound like something Wolfgang would do.
Not to interrupt.
There's no evidence to support
On
that.
the subject of blackmail, did Wolfgang ever confront the person he had?
Oh? You don't know whose blackmail he got?
Well, if you recall what Wolfgang said originally.
I am. Even to explain themselves.
Regardless of the blackmail's contents, it would be treated as a matter between the recipient and the subject of the blackmail, and no one else. Which makes me wonder, could whether or not Wolfgang confronted his person clue us into what had originally been written on that note?
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
If that person somehow realized Wolfgang carried their blackmail, but never came forward about it, they could have demanded Wolfgang show it to them, hence the mention of a secret. However, if Wolfgang did confront his person, I don't see why that same person would then send him a threatening note. Not least act coy about information they both know.
True.
If the person being blackmailed wasn't the one who wrote the note, who was?
Obviously, it would be the student with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, I knew that.
Yes, the secret in question may actually be a reference to Wolfgang's blackmail, not the sender's.
Is there any way to figure out whose secret it is?
We'd probably need to know whose blackmail Wolfgang had first.
Oh, I've got just the idea.
Oh no.
Yo, person who Wolfgang had blackmail on. If he gave you your blackmail back, can you say something?
Don't forget the person with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, right. Hey! Person who's got Wolfgang's blackmail! If you're innocent, say something already!
Damn it. No, you'll just look like you're withholding information.
I was hesitant to admit it, since I knew it would put me on the spot. But I'd rather be suspected than be the reason this trial comes to a standstill.
Are you confessing? Do you have Wolfgang's blackmail?
Nah, not his.
Seriously?
Nah, not
That's climactic.
However, it's thanks to him that I have my own.
Your own?
Whoa.
Wolfgang approached me the same day everyone received an envelope. Funnily enough, it happened right after I'd finished speaking with my own person. He and we had a good talk. He gave me his envelope and asked me to take care of it. If you need the proof.
Ah, Wolfgang's envelope had the same signature.
I held on to the letter for safekeeping. This should have all been said sooner. I realized that. I suppose my pride was stronger than my rectitude. My mistake for stringing everyone along.
I mean, at least you're honest.
Truth. Thanks for letting us know, bud.
Indeed. To acknowledge one's own misdoings is a most virtuous feat, I believe.
Right. It's very noble.
I take it our other blackmail person isn't gonna step forward?
If nothing happens, let's just have everyone recite whose blackmail they got one by one.
Huh? You sure that's a good idea?
Bruh.
No one's reciting shit. It was only a suggestion. Calm your farm.
Even if we knew who had Wolfgang's blackmail, that doesn't necessarily mean they're his killer. It's annoying they won't speak up, sure. But unlike John, they would actually need to reveal Wolfgang's blackmail to prove they have it. This person might just want to respect Wolfgang's request to keep the blackmail between two people, especially now that he's gone.
I don't know. Is it really okay if we never find out?
Nah.
Circumstantial evidence alone can't prove something beyond a reasonable doubt. If we want to solve this case, we need indisputable evidence.
Yeah. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the box art to help you.
The cases, or...
Obviously, the case. The more pieces you connect, the clearer the image you're constructing becomes. The clearer the image, the more you can assume about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Once we know how Wolfgang died, the rest of this case should fall into place.
You certainly talk a lot stranger than you used to, but I think I get it.
Well, I don't want to be the one to start, but we can all agree Wolfgang was stabbed to death, right? When I was in the boiler room, I saw a knife bobbing around in the water near him. And on the ground, there was blood. Dried blood. On the boiler room floor and on the hallway floor.
That's gotta be Wolfgang's blood, right?
The knife was bloody, so...
Seems like a brawl happened in the hallway. While poor Wolfie was minding his own business, he was confronted by the killer, who attacked him and chased him into the boiler room.
No, the lock.
That would line up with how we found him.
No. The lock.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have
happened always. I'm having a hard time under...
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence.
It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor
and
along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
It was probably a sneak attack. Stabbed him from behind. And
fuck!
His history.
With that knife-wielding villain on his tail.
So, the killer entered the boiler room after him, which was when they, you know, ended it.
Help me.
Is this really weird?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Nah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang from behind.
No!
That does not...
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a water right next to him.
Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
Happened in those hallways.
Nah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
No!
Ended it.
Is this really?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water
right next to him.
Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways. It was probably a sneak attack. So snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
And the rest is
to run, but the bullet.
Fuck! Okay, I know. Okay.
Is this really how you guys think?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways. It was probably a sneak attack. So snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
That's it. Snuck him from behind.
It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that.
There's blood on the...
Is this
really how you guys think Wolfgang died? The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways. It was probably a sneak attack. So snuck up on Wolfgang,
stabbed him from behind.
That does not...
Is this
really how you guys think Wolfgang died? The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
behind.
That does not dispute the...
Is this really how you guys think?
The one night is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to it.
Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor.
And along the underground hallway. The trouble just makes them happen in those
Is this really?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway. The trouble just makes it happen in those hallways. Yeah, it was probably sympathetic. So snuck up on Wolfgang. That does not...
Is this really how...
The one night is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to it. Not just that. There's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway. The trouble just makes it happen in those hallways. Yeah, it was probably sympathetic.
Snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
No, that's wrong.
Counter! Break! Oh, God, that was...
Jed, you talk a lot about the knife and the bloodstains on the floor, but did you ever look at Wolfgang himself?
I gave him a glance. Nothing too deep.
I figured. Had you actually taken the time to look at Wolfgang's back, you would have noticed a clear absence of stab wounds. In fact, none of the injuries he sustained were the type to cause severe blood loss. Seriously. We went over the same thing with Cassidy during the mock trial. Couldn't you give Wolfgang the dignity of a proper investigation?
Hey, man, it's not like I didn't try. It's just... this stuff doesn't come easy, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody wakes up thinking they'll have to solve their buddy's murder later.
Isn't that exactly what you should be worrying about in a killing game?
Not everyone has the stomach for investigating. That's fine. That's why you got people like me to do the heavy lifting. Since some of us here weren't able to investigate Wolfgang's body, I'll lay out his injuries. There were 2 marks on the back of his neck, a bruise, and a tiny red dot. His hands were burned too, so 3 injuries in total. Besides that, I caught nothing else.
Burns, you say?
Sugar high, my dear Wilson. The killer used a flamethrower.
Yeah, if only.
These didn't look like normal burns. Not the sort you'd get from a stove fire.
Contradicting my theory outright? Jeez. So this is the thanks I get for vocalizing my thoughts?
Sorry, lass.
Lass.
Yes, if I may add on to what John said, the burns actually bore a strong resemblance to what you might see in cases of corona paralysis.
Chiaro.
Huh? Now this I know. Coronoparalysis. It's something which happens.
I
like
knew
attack
it.
victims.
I am smart. I knew he was electrocuted. I called it from the moment I saw him. From the moment. I'm smart, and I don't care.
Getting struck by lightning is like getting kicked by a horse. The impact is so shocking. Some people will lose all feeling in their limbs for a few hours.
I was aware of lightning paralysis, but even I didn't know its official name. That's a nice head you've got on your shoulders.
Oh, he's like, that's a nice head. I'm sorry.
Lots of people tend to overlook the importance of lightning safety, especially where I'm from. My grandpappy once tried working out in the open during a thunderstorm. Pure luck's the only reason he lived to see the next day.
Sorry to hear that and all, but what does lightning have to do with anything?
He was electrocuted.
Well, if I had to guess, Ulysses, did it look like a big old tree was drawn on Wolfie?
A big old tree. Yes, that's how I would describe the burns on Wolfgang.
So Wolfgang had lightning strike scars?
We're trapped inside a building, though. Lightning can't come
The
from
generator.
Could he not have been struck before the killing game? Fate is stronger than will, you know. Perhaps the deity decreed the glow of his altruism from their heavenly abode and felt him a threat.
Nay, those burns were fresh. One look was all it took for me to know that. If he had these scars before, We would have noticed them anyway.
But if those marks were recently inflicted, wouldn't it mean Wolfgang somehow went outside?
He didn't go outside.
Not necessarily.
The generator.
This is only something I thought of just now, but the reason Wolfgang sustained burns similar to that of lightning strike victims may be because whatever inflicted his burns was equivalent in damage to a lightning strike.
You saying there's something out here channeling the power of lightning?
Yeah, no. It's a literal fucking generator, you troglodytes.
This is it.
You troglodytes. There's a generator.
Since you write everything down, do you have a description of the boiler room in your notebook?
Yes, I do.
Since some people here never investigated the crime scene, they probably aren't as familiar with the room as we are. So, you should read out your description of it.
The boiler room consists of a small concrete platform surrounded by ankle-deep water. Throughout the room are boxes filled with various garbage, and in the back looks to be a generator, charred beyond belief. What you just heard is a brief summary of my notes.
Hear that? There's a generator inside the boiler room.
Yes.
Of all the things which could deal similar damage to a lightning strike, doesn't a generator sound the most likely?
Didn't Ulysses say it was destroyed?
At the time of the investigation, sure. You probably don't remember. But back when we found the dummy, I mentioned something about the underground floor. To be more specific, it was the boiler room I woke up inside. I hadn't been alone either. Ava was also there.
I woke up first.
Bruh.
Yeah. She did. Anyway, Ava, you agreed the generator was in full working condition when we woke up, right?
Right.
So in the time since you woke up there, the generator was destroyed?
It's the only possibility. As for what destroyed the generator, well, it's hard to say for sure.
Oh, the taser.
Don't waste my time.
What?
Two things. First, destroyed is overly vague.
You can't interrupt me!
Ulysses explained the state of the generator much better. Charred beyond belief. Second, and more importantly, where's your proof the generator inflicted those burns?
What are you talking about? The generator must be involved. It's near where Wolfgang is lying.
Being within range of something counts as proof now, does it? Do you also consider happenstance as conclusive evidence? Funny how the standards shift, if so.
That's...
Okay.
While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days. Do I really need to lay this out?
Hold up. What the fuck?
Day 1, we were kidnapped. Day 2, Day 3, our blackmail was distributed. Day 4, Cassidy and Jet pitched their little tournament. And Day 5, in the period between days 2 and 5, anyone could have destroyed the generator. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days. Do I really need to lay this out? While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days.
Fuck, man. I'm stressed.
While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed.
I definitely wasn't.
What about the blackout? It's impossible for the generator to cause the blackout if it was already broken prior to the tournament.
What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after
It's
the
not
murder.
blackout, it's not footsteps.
You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after
Not the
murder.
footsteps.
You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater.
It's the DJ.
What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during it. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during it. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after is. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after.
I'll cut through those words!
Cut it through! Break!
When the blackout happened, it froze a piece of equipment which had been set up for the game tournament. Mark's DJ pad. While there was no physical clock inside the dining hall, a digital one has been built into Mark's pad. If you look at what time the digital clock is frozen on, it matches the time of death listed on the tablet, 9:35 a.m.
Well, Mark, is this true?
There's no point in me saying anything when someone else has already said it better.
Just answer with a yes or no.
Yes.
In any case, the matching times are too much of a coincidence. The destruction of the generator caused the blackout, and the blackout occurred at the time of the murder. There's no way the destruction of the generator wasn't tied to Wolfgang's death.
What do you suppose happened then?
I'm willing to bet the generator's destruction resulted in the boiler room's water becoming electrified. Since Wolfgang was discovered kneeling in the water, you can reason he was standing in it at the time this happened.
Damon, you and I both know that's not true.
Huh?
Did you forget? It's impossible for the water in the boiler room to play a role in Wolfgang's murder. Because it isn't even conductive.
Huh? It's not?
After Damon and I woke up in the boiler room, I wanted to investigate the flooded area. So, I tested the water. I even redid my test during the investigation, since Damon wasn't sure if he should touch Wolfgang's wet clothes. In both instances, I proved the water was safe to enter. To be honest, neither result really surprised me. Water will only act as a conductor if it makes contact with two separate energy sources. The boiler room's generator is just one source.
If you're standing in the water, one outlet should be enough. Speaking from experience, large bodies of water are terrifying conductors during storms. All it takes is one lightning bolt, and the surrounding miles are scorched.
But the generator is a slow, persistent source of electricity. It's not the same as a lightning strike.
The taser.
Electricity is electricity. Doesn't matter how it manifests. The reason you two avoided electrocution is because the generator's exposed wires aren't even touching the water.
Exactly.
If they were, you would have been scorched right from the start.
Maybe when the generator was destroyed, some of the wiring fell into the water?
Nah. Even in its current sorry state.
It doesn't make sense for the generator to pose a danger anyway. The point of the killing game is for the students to kill each other, not for the facility to kill the students. A feature of the building killing a student would be a meaningless death because you can't attribute a student killer to it.
As for why the generator's been charred, sometimes electrical faults happen. Even my ship's engines have broken under particularly relentless storms. And if an electrical fault caused Wolfgang's death, then his...
Of course! If we were responsible for his death, you lot wouldn't be here discussing it.
Dum Lamau.
Okay, since we've ruled out the generator, what else could have electrocuted Wolfgang?
The obvious.
It mightn't be relevant, but I did see one other thing on the boiler room floor. A toy gun or something. At least, that's how it came across to me.
Brother.
Not a toy gun, a taser gun.
A taser? I'll shoot electricity!
Nah, not really.
I'm not sure how the taser fits in with this case, though. It doesn't seem to have been used.
Nope. The taser was definitely used.
How so? I didn't catch any sort of string protruding from it.
Not all taser guns release a string when fired. Some are completely wireless. For those types, you can tell they've been used if their blast doors are missing. Side note, blast doors are plastic panels which cover the muzzle of a taser. If a shot is fired, they pop clean off. When I was investigating the crime scene, I found the taser gun in one spot and its blast doors in another. Speaks for itself, yeah?
And here I was thinking the yellow bits were just random trash.
Where the heck did a taser gun even come from? Last time I checked, there weren't any lying around in the storage closets.
Maybe it belongs to someone here.
Oh, shit!
Just think about it for 1 second. Everyone here has a dorm room which is themed around their talent. Mine's got DJ equipment. Jet's got car batteries.
Oh.
If that's what we have with our talents, what could someone with a dangerous talent have?
Are you talking about, like, knives and stuff?
No.
What?
Forget this. The person I'm talking about is Desmond.
Oh, shit!
Huh? No way! You think the gun is Desmond's?
Yeah.
Hang on. You got it all mixed up.
Jean, do you know anything about this? As Desmond's roommate, perhaps you spotted something inside his dorm.
Alas, we stayed in my abode. I couldn't tell you if he had weapons.
Talk about suspicious.
Did Desmond agree to bunk in Jean's dorm so Jean wouldn't see the weapons in his?
Listen, I get where you guys are coming from.
I don't think. Why would. But he has literal archers. What? A taser? Why would he bring a fucking taser?
That taser gun? It's not mine. I've never seen anything like it.
No. That's a lie.
A lie?
A marksman is obviously going to have a tape.
Like I said.
I got it. The blackmail tools you gave us. That's my evidence.
You didn't get mine, did you?
No. But the person who did informed me of what it said.
Wait, who got Desmond's? With his weapons at hand, Desmond guards the only ones he trusts.
The writing style seems to match. I think it's legit.
That's more than a little suspicious, don't you think? Leaving a bunch of weapons unguarded during a killing game?
Don't judge me. This is the first time I'm hearing of it too.
You didn't know there were weapons in your room?
Yep. No idea.
Our rooms aren't particularly subtle in their theming. Are we supposed to believe yours is any different?
It is themed. I'm not denying that. But I sure as hell didn't catch sight of any weapons. If I did, do you seriously think I'd leave them unguarded and risk being found out?
Yeah. Desmond cares too much about everyone. He pointed out the broken doorknobs and gave us the idea to bunk together. Why would he hide weapons in his room?
Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent and found the taser gun hidden inside. There's no other way to explain it.
That makes sense.
So while Desmond gets a bunch of guns, all I get is an old game console and a dead controller.
Take the bad with the good, dearest pupil. No one fears game consoles. Well, no one besides parents and the religiously inclined.
Bruh.
Enough talking about consoles. Why are you guys believing Desmond so easily? If the taser gun belongs to him, then he's the killer. Any argument he makes against it
No.
is just a flimsy excuse.
No. No, 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 no. No, he...
Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room.
Oops.
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely in my dorm to begin with.
Because you wanted to draw attention away from your weapons hoard.
But... If this is about avoiding suspicion, why did Desmond say the taser gun was fired? I don't think a killer would draw attention to their own murder weapon.
I was with Desmond.
I call it reverse
psychology.
You sprinkle in a what? Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room. You think I'm... Go on, then. Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room. You... Go on. Desmond is the killer.
The taser gun came from his room.
You... Go on.
Okay, it's not that.
Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room.
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely in my dorm to begin with.
What? What? Hello? No, 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 no. It didn't freeze, did it? No. My game crashed. What? Oh my god. I have to do all of that again? Oh my god, please, please, for the love of God. Oh my god, I have to do it again. I'm so upset. That's really upsetting. I'm gonna save after every... All right. Let's do this. All right, back where we left off. The game crashed again? No fucking chance. No fucking chance. No fucking chance the game crashed again. Every time. What the fuck? Ooh, this is aggravating. I'm not gonna lie. All right, just I'm not clicking that second one. Data. Wait, why is it? Has my game been muted this whole fucking time? Alright, fuck.
Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room.
Bullshit. Nope. That's not it either.
Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room.
Ugh.
Desmond is the
Data.
killer. The taser gun came from his room. Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room.
I don't want to have to.
The taser gun came from his room.
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely in my dorm to begin with.
Because you wanted to draw attention away from your weapon toy.
Elizabeth Desmond.
I got it.
All right, I don't. So
Regardless of
before
whether
I.
or not Desmond knew about the gun.
So Data, man, you should have seen it earlier because holy shit, this game was freaking out. I literally, it kept crashing, so I have to now save after every game. All right, let's get going.
Eloise can back me up on this.
Eloise. Oh, it's Eloise. Ah.
Right. Desmond and I, we were together in the courtyard at the time of Wolfgang's death.
I see. Then both of you can be ruled out as suspects.
Don't just take her word for it. She could be covering for Desmond.
Jeez, if you have a bone to pick with these guys, at least save it for when we're not solving a murder.
Yeah. Why don't you want to believe Eloise?
Ever since the investigation, these two yuppies have been on my case non-stop. They're obviously working together.
Where's your sources for that?
Not gonna lie, I see where Grace is coming from. When Eloise tried to single her out earlier, Desmond was pretty quick to jump in and agree.
Okay, I will. It happens during that one thing that I mean, it'll be on my stream, but it crashed like 2 times. Actually, it crashed 3 times, I'm pretty sure. And it was the same, like, thing. So it's very weird.
Even so, since the topic has been brought up, I would like to mention something. During my trip to the pharmacy, I believe I saw Desmond and Eloise in the courtyard.
No, they're lovers.
You also said you were back in the hallways around 8-10 a.m., didn't you? That means those two were wandering around unsupervised. Either one of them could have left the courtyard.
Ugh, yikes. Yeah.
If Desmond was the killer, what would Eloise gain from defending him? Should the wrong vote be cast, nothing about the rules suggests an accomplice of the killer would be exempt from execution.
That's right. And even if she was exempt, Eloise is...
Oh, by the way, I 100% think Diane is guilty. Just gonna call her right now. Hey! Get the fish in.
Grace, I realize Desmond's irked you, but that's no reason to keep steering everyone down a dead end.
Red-eye fish.
Let's move on.
A person who's always steering others down a dead end, huh? I guess they needed a GPS. Anyway, we should totally thank Desmond for clearing things up now. Not only do we know he's not the killer, now we know how the killer got their hands on the taser.
Now we know how... What?
Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent, and found the taser gun hidden inside.
Her voice acting is so funny. I love her.
Yup, that is word for word what
carp.
Desmond said.
Right. Good memory.
All in a day's work, baby!
Bye-bye.
Can you repeat that quote, Cassidy?
Again. But I just said it.
Yeah, but I want you to say it again.
Alright. Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent and found the taser gun hidden inside.
Who had his blackmail?
Is there something on your mind?
If Desmond's testimony is anything to go by, wouldn't this mean the culprit has to be male?
What?
If I remember correctly, all the guys were aware of each other's pairings. With that sort of knowledge, a male student could try and infiltrate another male student's dorm.
None of us knew which room we'd be bunking in.
It only takes a quick peek to check if someone's inside or not. Anyone could have done that.
You found a can?
And who's to say the thief didn't barge in before we started bunking?
Or while people were having breakfast.
Seems there was a mountain of opportunities for our culprit to sneak in unnoticed. Doesn't exactly help us narrow things down, does it?
Well, guess this taser gun was a bust.
No.
Look on the bright side. If it's been fired, then it's probably what electrocuted Wolfie. If trying to suss out who stole it isn't feasible, why don't we talk about Wolfie's other injuries?
There was no other injury.
You know, the ones that weren't burn marks? Those seem like they could lead us somewhere.
Yeah. Besides the burns on his hands, Wolfgang also had a bruise and a tiny red dot on the back of his neck.
A bruise and a tiny dot, huh? Wanna try tackling them in alphabetical order?
Alphabetical order? Now, aren't you full of smart ideas?
No need to thank me. It's only common sense.
Jesus.
Okay, let's discuss the bruise first.
Here we go. Ooh, you found a leatherback turtle.
I think it's safe to say the killer didn't use a flamethrower.
Oh, she said didn't
I think
use.
it's safe to say the killer didn't use a flamethrower.
Maybe Wolfgang got into a fight. Someone might have.
Wouldn't it be too obvious? It's just that she's so sus. When we investigated her, she acted quote unquote suspicious.
I think it's safe to say the killer didn't use a flamethrower.
Maybe Wolfgang got into a fight? Someone might have attacked.
But that's not a lie. Fuck. I'm.
I think it's safe to say the killer didn't use a flamethrower.
Maybe Wolfgang got into a fight? Someone might have attacked him
I mean, someone definitely did.
and aimed for his neck.
And for his neck.
If you can even reach that high.
Either way, something must have hit.
I got it! Break! It's what most people do. Oh. Oh, so I thought I was special.
Something did hit Wolfgang.
Really? Man. And I was only blurting out the first thing which came to mind. Anyway. from
Wait, hold up.
blurting things,
Save it, because again, I'm not taking any. This is taking way too. Woo. Alright, let's get back to it.
A rolling pin.
This music is cool.
Wolfgang was hit with a rolling pin.
Does the story not remember me and Kai? Well,
How on earth did you reach that conclusion?
Ava and I found this pin inside storage closet A, which is just a few feet from the crime scene. Coincidentally, the pin also has a dent.
You sure that's enough to say it's involved? Could just be a flimsy pin.
No. There's something else which solidifies this pin's role in the murder. Handprints. 2 of them on the edge of the pin.
they were trying to give him a neck massage.
So the killer used a rolling pin to attack Wolfgang?
It certainly explains the bruising on his neck.
They must have wanted him to be unconscious so he wouldn't fight back.
Exactly. It would be easier to drag him into the water if he's not awake.
You reckon the killer purposely put Wolfie in the water?
Damn! With one electrified blow, Wolfgang is zapped to bits with the taser! Since he's lying in the water, he's definitely a goner.
Considering the logical ethos of the killer's rectitude, especially when governed under constricting pressure, leaving him catatonic would be the most facile solution.
Did she just say a bunch of smart words?
I guess it makes sense.
Wait, what was the question?
So let me get this straight. The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin, and then chucked the pin into Closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
They couldn't have done it when Eva and I were already downstairs. Two of us went inside Closet A.
Why were you inside the closet?
To find the backup generator, remember? Jed and I checked Closet B. Eamon and Kai checked Closet C. Eva and Grace checked Closet and Jean and Mark checked Closet D.
The killer just discarded the pin. Before we came to... Leave me out of this.
So let me get this straight. The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin, and then chucked the pin into Closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
They couldn't have done it when Eva and I were all...
Sorry.
So let me get this straight.
Okay.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin, and then chucked the pin into Closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
I know, I'm trying to think.
Couldn't have done it when Eva and I were already downstairs. Because the two of us went inside Closet A.
Why were you inside the closet?
Wait, A?
Backup generator.
B. C. No, that's the truth. I'm just...
So let me get this straight. The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then chucked the pin into Closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
Eamon and Kai checked closet. He's checked closet A.
That's a lie. Wait, no. Fuck.
So let me get this straight.
Sean Mark D. Kai and me and A. C. Ava A. Jet Cassidy B.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin.
These are all true
And then
statements.
chucked the pin into Closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
Downstairs. The two of us went inside Closet A.
Why were you inside the closet?
To find the backup. Eamon and Kai checked closet B. Eva and Grace checked closet A. And Jean and Mark checked closet.
Came downstairs.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So let me get this straight.
This takes...
The pin into Closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
When Eva and I were already downstairs. Because the two of us went inside Closet A.
Why were you inside the closet?
To find the backup generator, remember? Eamon and Kai.
She's telling truths.
Stairs.
So let me get this straight.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then chucked the pin into Closet A?
When Eva and I...
I'm just trying at this point.
So let me get this.
There's only 6 options.
I were already downstairs.
Why were you inside the closet?
Game over. I'm just like, hold up.
So let me get this straight.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then chucked the pin into Closet A?
Okay, hold up. Alright, I'm gonna... Firing all my bullets.
And then chuck the pin into closet A?
When exactly?
Downstairs.
Sorry.
So let me get this straight. The killer
I tried all the
knocked out
statements.
Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then chuck the pin into closet A?
I let it play out.
Couldn't have done it. Ivor and I were downstairs.
So let me get this straight.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then chuck the pin into closet A?
Oh, well, I'm...
So let me get this
Didn't I already do the rolling pin?
And then chuck the pin into closet A?
And I were all downstairs.
Alright, I'm literally gonna let it play out. Like, I've heard all this, like, 3 times.
And then chuck the pin into closet A?
Because the two of us went inside closet A.
Just discarded downstairs.
Yeah, I think Mark's right. Because they could run upstairs and go back to their room immediately after discarding the pin.
Oh. Wait.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then chuck the pin into closet A?
Bro, that takes so long to get through. Alright, I know.
And go back to their room after discarding the pin.
Did I miss? I missed! Alright, it's that one. It's right there. It's there. Ooh. James missing. Misinformation. Break! That's wrong! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scream.
Diana, there's proof the killer fled the underground hallway at a later time.
Yes. Which one of you motherfucker? Oh, wait. Hold up. Alright.
When the tournament attendees were looking for a backup generator, Kai and I heard someone run past our room.
Oh! Uh-oh!
Oh, man, that's right. We were just exploring the closet when, all of a sudden, we heard footsteps in the hallway. That's when Damon decided he was gonna follow where the footsteps came from and entered the boiler room.
Did anyone else hear these footsteps?
Nope. Not ringing any bells.
Yeah, Jenny didn't really hear it over all our talking.
I heard the footsteps.
Wait, you withheld that?
You did? Well, I initially thought it was my imagination.
This
so
music
I
is
never said
crazy.
Ashamed to say I also brushed off the footsteps. Thought I was hearing things.
Oh, shit!
However, since other people can attest to hearing them.
Then someone else was on the underground floor with us.
Oh my fucking god. Who was it? Which one of you?
Before anyone tries to bring it up, none of the tournament attendees could have been the person running. Since everyone explored the closets in pairs, they all have solid alibis.
I'm sure we can all vouch for that, aye?
Everyone was still in their closets after Damon and I found Wolfgang. So...
Considering the footsteps were moving away from the crime scene, I think it's safe to say they belong to the killer.
I don't know.
Wouldn't that mean the killer fled while you guys were exploring the rooms?
Hold up! So the killer had been right next to us?
Joy, that's a given.
Huh? How are you so calm after hearing that? The only thing which stood between us and a murderer was a door. What if they attacked us?
Well, they didn't, so I don't see what the problem is.
Sheesh, you're weird.
Hey, man.
Why not run away earlier, though? Fleeing while everyone is searching seems really risky.
Risky.
Maybe it was a miscalculation?
It's not impossible, I guess.
If not that, then maybe the killer returned to the boiler room after discarding the pin?
To confirm the dead body.
Sounds pretty meat-headed if you ask me.
Yes, you'd think a killer would use that moment to run away.
For the two who heard the footsteps, describe the sound.
It was kinda...
Socky.
As in, it sounded pretty soft. Like the
Whoa.
person had taken off their shoes.
Saki, huh?
Does your cat also put down their head to be kissed? In a way, yeah.
Seems this killer was purposefully trying to keep quiet.
Well, we don't know if this person is the killer. We just know somebody was investigating the area, like they were curious about what was going on.
Because their footsteps were soft?
That seems like a leap in logic.
Why is she getting all stressed out?
No, I get what she's saying. Everyone here has socks on, I'm pretty sure. So any one of us could have run down the hallway.
Aw. Adorable kitty.
The thing with shoes is, not everyone here has the same kind. If the killer had worn theirs, we might have been able to figure out their footwear from the sound it made on the floor. Then we just have to single out the person with that footwear. Man, it would have been so easy to find the killer.
We already can find the killer, though.
What?
Oi, are you pulling our leg?
I'm completely serious. Picture a map of the building complex in your head. The building with the dorms is on the left, the courtyard is in the middle, and the building with the tree is on the right. Now, try and pin everyone's locations during Wolfgang's murder. Once you do that, the identity of the killer will definitely become clear.
Is the killer someone whose position we can't place?
No, it's not about position.
Timing.
Wolfgang's killer can easily lie about their location during the murder. The only thing distinguishing their testimony from everyone else's is that theirs can't be corroborated.
I'm gonna be so fucking honest with all of you guys. It's just, come on.
It has to be you!
Diana, it's you, isn't it?
Oh shit! Wait, the cutscene is, wait, what happens if I was wrong? What if I picked wrong?
Her? The makeup girl?
She's the only one here without an alibi. Those of us who attended the tournament can obviously be ruled out. And as for those who didn't...
Man, Harvey, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I have to kill this bitch.
Desmond and Eloise were in the courtyard. Toshiko and Ingrid were in the same dorm room.
What about Winona? She never mentioned an alibi.
Give me a break.
Winona and I were in the building with the tree all morning. In fact, yes, Desmond and Eloise should have witnessed us walking over there, as those two were in the courtyard at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
In that case, Diana really is the only one without an alibi.
Oh, fuck!
Guys, if she's the person who fled the boiler room, those footsteps we heard make a lot more sense. Heels make a pretty loud clop sound on hard floors, and the underground hallway's floor is pretty hard. Diana would obviously want to take them off.
If he's so concerned about his reputation in his community, he has a girlfriend and he's getting married. Why would you go anywhere near another garden place to smoke? That right there ruins your reputation. And also saying that he has a girlfriend and he's getting married is his way of proving that he couldn't have been the person that hurt her. I wonder just how many times that has actually gotten people off the project.
I'm very confused. The garden place to smoke. I don't know where that's from.
Whoa. I didn't even think of it like that. You're totally right, though. Since Diana's the only one here with heels, she would have to take them off.
Hope you're having a... What up, Cosbox? How you doing?
Guys, what are you talking about? Me? A killer? Do you really think I could be a killer?
Yes.
The fact you weren't at the tournament is incriminating enough.
Do I ship? I don't know who I ship. I don't even know if I can be shipping. I'm trying to ship. I don't even know. But Pirate Dude and Ingrid seems like they like each other. I don't know.
Not just that. Everyone but you has an alibi.
But I do have an alibi.
Uh-oh, it's Wolfgang.
Right, Ava? You woke up with me this morning, and you never saw me leave my dorm.
During the brief amount of time we were together, I never saw you leave.
Grace and Wolfgang. Oh yeah, that was. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious those two.
What you did after I left for the game tournament, however, is anyone's guess.
Ava wanted to help me and Cass set up the tournament, so we told her to swing by early.
For that reason, I left Diana's dorm at 8:05 a.m. The exact time since her room has a clock. I probably entered the dining hall around 8:10 a.m.-ish.
So much for an alibi then.
Diana, don't tell me.
Diana, just confess.
Holy smokes, it's all falling into place! Are we sure there hasn't been some sort of misunderstanding?
It's not possible. Diana can't be the killer.
Why?
No! I refuse to believe it!
Alright, boys, time for another non-stop debate. Suspicious note. I already know it.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one who left the blood trail? Because if so, that might be her blood on the knife, too.
Diana's blood? Are you saying she wounded herself?
Wounded herself? What makes you think that?
I don't know. Why else would the killer's blood be on their own weapon?
Did we not already agree the killer was wielding a rolling pin?
Well, maybe they had both. The rolling pin in one hand, and the knife in the other.
Dual-wielding weapons? Boy, this killer's next level.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one who left the blood trail? Because if so...
BTW, you can copy purple words and use them as emotional evidence when they come out as a huge tip.
Okay.
If it was Diana... If so... was Diana
Fuck.
inside that boiler room.
That's a lie. Hold up.
If it was Diana inside
Fuck. I don't.
If it was
Oh, it's.
One hand, and the knife in the other.
Dual-wielding weapons? Holy, the skill is next level.
Okay, let me think. Fuck. This point is.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room.
I just.
Diana's blood.
I'm just trying at this point.
Lying. There's no way she.
Has Ingrid ever been wrong?
If it was
Hey,
Diana.
you're giving me hints there.
Diana's blood. Are you saying she wounded herself?
Wounded herself? What makes you think that?
Why
else would the killer's blood be in their own weapon?
That's got to be a lie.
Not already agree. The killer was wielding a rolling pin.
Well, maybe they had both. Either rolling.
Let me try this one.
Hand,
No, I missed. I missed.
and the knife in the.
Fuck. That's the lie. It's right there. I just. Fuck. I'm just gotta get to it. I just.
If it
I don't know.
Would the killer's
Blood be on their own weapon.
It's. That has to be the lie.
If it was Diana inside that
Uh.
boiler room, could
Depending
she
on what
be
lightsaber,
one-
because a modern day lightsaber seems like they don't kill, which is weird.
Because if so, that might be her blood on the knife too.
Diana's blood.
I'm just trying at this point.
If it was
Okay, I need to think. I need to like, because this is so much.
Data Personae Q2 player asked me, would you rather have a lightsaber or energy sword from Halo? I'd go with the energy sword from Halo. It's got that sleek, intense dual-prong design that matches my
All right.
style. Plus,
That's
it's
not it.
perfect for close combat when facing enemies with evil intentions. Can't beat the raw power and intimidation factor it carries. A lightsaber's cool too, but the energy sword feels more like my speed.
else would the killer's
Blood be on their own weapon.
I just.
I don't have it wrong.
If it was Diana.
Would the killer's blood be on their own weapon?
Oh, am I wrong? Is shit.
If it was Diana.
I think. All right. Is it this? Okay, fuck. Alright, just...
If it was... If it...
I'm...
She wounded herself.
I just... Yeah, game over. Game over. It's...
She wounded herself.
If it was Diana... Because if so... If it was...
Are you saying she... The rolling pin...
If it...
The rolling...
No, that's wrong!
Break! Oh, shit.
No. The killer was only wielding the rolling pin. During their confrontation...
That's right, because there was no
You can
knives.
tell just from looking at the pin. There are 2 handprints wrapped around the edge. Which makes sense, because you can swing with more force if you use both hands. And that...
Then, who held the knife?
It was planted there by Tozu.
wasn't the killer. So it was most likely the only other person in the boiler room. Wolfgang Akire.
What the hell are you talking about? Wolfgang, carrying a dangerous weapon? Bullshit!
If you were in his situation, wouldn't you? Wolfgang received an anonymous message asking him to meet in a basement, all whilst in the middle of a killing game. At that point, it doesn't matter how much of an optimist he is. He'd know better than to come unarmed.
A knife isn't super hard to find either. Wolfgang probably just stole one from the kitchen.
Besides, if Diana's the one who got stabbed, it would explain the blood trail. Think about it. She arms herself with the rolling pin and attacks Wolfgang, getting hurt by him in the process. For some reason, possibly because of the blackout, she doesn't clean the blood trail she's leaving, and returns to her dorm room after.
Does her makeup.
No! That's wrong!
Huh?
I wasn't stabbed. If I was stabbed, then I'd have an injury.
Yeah, but you're a cosmetologist, so you can hide that.
But there's nothing, right? There's nothing on me.
Depends. If a vein got nipped, you'd be seeing blood no matter the size of the cut. Of course, that also means a small cut will need bandaging, which I'm not seeing on you.
You may not see any injuries on Diana, but that doesn't mean they aren't there. If she wanted, she could simply hide her injuries from view. After all, someone like her has exactly what it takes.
She's a cosmetologist.
Data Persona Q2 player asked me, it's been shown people with tons of natural muscle naturally prefer meat, milk, etc. Yeah, makes sense. Those who are naturally muscular often lean towards a diet rich in protein. Meat, milk, and similar foods provide the necessary nutrients to fuel their strength and maintain muscle mass. It's like how I naturally gravitate toward chaos control and extreme action. It's just part of who I am, honing my abilities while staying true to my edgy nature.
Unfortunately, I have to agree.
Oh my god.
Well, Diana, did I get anything wrong?
She pulls out a fucking gun.
No. No. But I...
Wait. Diana, did you just say no? As in, no, you're not wrong that I covered up my wounds? Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
Oh, Kai.
You guys know what this means, right, guys? Diana basically just confessed!
A confession? Are you for real?
It makes sense, though. Diana got wounded, which proves she got in a fight with Wolfgang. Which means all that stuff about Wolfgang going to the boiler room, all that stuff really did happen.
I see. I see now what you were saying. Diana, she lured Wolfgang to the boiler room by writing him that note. And when he arrived, she attacked him and killed him. And now, she's been lying this entire trial, hoping we would never suspect her. Yeah! How cruel!
Diana, It wasn't me! I promise, it wasn't me.
Bullshit.
To think she could preach about friendship after committing a violent crime.
And then try and sentence the rest of us to punishment.
Golly, you're right. If we voted for the wrong person, we would have been executed.
Ah! That's so fucked! Seriously, Diana? What the hell is your damage?
Can we at least hear Diana's side of the story?
Her side?
Well, you know, Diana has, I just think it's fair we listen.
What does it matter what she says? Look at the evidence. This case, it's closed. We know who the killer is.
Nah, I'm not satisfied.
If you want to ask for Diana's side of the story, then do it after the vote.
No. No. No.
All right. By the way, we have to.
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
Then she fled the crime, hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
How could you, Diana? Poor Wolfie was only trying to keep us together.
But I would never murder Wolf.
If you don't have an out...
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
Then she fled the crime.
Diana
Hold
was
up.
the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room.
Then she fled the crime scene, hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
Diana? Poor Wolfie was
Try absorbing
only
some
trying to
statements.
keep
There's a
us
speaker
together.
one you'll be looking for.
But I would never murder Wolfgang.
If you don't have an alibi, then you obviously did.
But I wanted to believe so badly.
If this goes on any longer, I'm gonna be sick.
What are we waiting for then? Let's get this over with and vote! Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
No, needing.
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
Then she fled the...
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once
They
he got
carry
there,
over at the end
she
of
killed
debates
him
too. It's called an empathy bullet.
No, that's wrong.
Counter! Break! Alright, save it real quick. By the way, unfortunately, I will have to end this.
Grace.
No matter what happens, I will have to leave this stream in about 9 minutes because I have to pick up Lauren from work. I was hoping this could be over in the next 10 minutes, but you did say this would take 5 hours.
Do you recall the note I found in Wolfgang's blazer pocket?
I don't know how to use one.
To meet in the boiler room at 8:15 a.m. But, according to the Tozu tablet, he died over an hour later at 9:35 a.m. That means Wolfgang didn't die right after he got to the boiler room.
What's your point?
My point is that the killer had no reason to lure Wolfgang to the boiler room and then wait over an hour to kill him.
What do you mean absorb them? Like, do I click on them?
There's no guarantee another person will enter the room during that time. It's in the killer's best interest to be in and out of there
Okay.
as fast as possible. When we originally discussed the note, we lacked the context to properly understand this time discrepancy. But if we go with your idea that Diana killed Wolfgang immediately, then that discrepancy becomes all too clear.
How do you know Wolfgang didn't just arrive late?
He was already on his way when I ran into him at 8:10 a.m. He must have arrived on time.
Same goes for the killer. I doubt Wolfgang would stay in the boiler room for long if no one came to meet him. For that reason, we can assume Wolfgang was knocked unconscious soon after he arrived. But there's such a long period of time between him being knocked out and him being killed. Unless you want to tell me he and Diana were in an hour-long struggle, then I'm sure there's more to the mystery here.
Oh, shit! She just told me to shut the fuck up.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you see this is a trick? All of Diana's blubbering and crying is just a farce to make us think she's innocent.
I wouldn't fall for a farce like that. My only concern is the evidence not adding up.
If you're still not convinced Diana is the killer, then let me show you something you overlooked. I call it undeniable fucking proof!
Yes. Yeah, I played it before with Winova.
I don't give a damn what Diana says. Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How can the killer be anyone but her? I don't give a damn what Diana says. Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How can the killer be anyone but her?
Oh no, got a duel. Castle Crashers. Oh no, I won. Bitch.
If Diana lured Wolfgang downstairs, why would she take over an hour to kill him? It doesn't make sense. Not when there's a risk.
Oh.
Someone else entering the boiler room.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. How are they? What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. Now take your argument and shove it up your ass. worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. How are they gonna... What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. How are they gonna enter? By facing through the fuck...
This is how I was doing it before. I don't know how to do it that great. Alright.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. Now take your argument and shove it up your ass.
Okay, hold up.
I don't give a damn what Diana says. Not only is she the one person without an alibi, her having no alibi is the... I don't give a damn what Diana says. Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How could the killer be anyone but her?
If Diana lured Wolfgang downstairs, why would she take over an hour to kill him? It doesn't make sense.
Oh no, I know.
Of someone else entering the boiler room.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. Now take your argument and shove it up your ass.
What do you mean wait? I am waiting.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. Now take your argument and shove it up your ass.
I thought I'm winning. Don't cut it until it appears. Wait, what appears? The text?
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door.
Boom! Alright, after this we have to stop. I have to go get Lauren.
The boiler room door can't be relied upon here. If Diana locked it, she would be trapping herself inside the boiler room.
What?
The doorknob has been flipped so that the keyhole faces inside, while the lock faces outside. Had you investigated the crime scene more closely, you might have realized this detail sooner.
Yeah, bitch. Alright, so here's the thing. I have to go. I really have to go, and it's not like, oh, I have because I'm getting tired. It's like, I literally have to go. If I have time, maybe I can stream later tonight. I will update Discord if I do. I will update Discord if I do stream later tonight, because I do want to finish this chapter because it's, I want to get through this game. So I do have to go. I am sorry. I know you just got here not that long ago, Dave. I'm sorry I haven't been following the rules. I'm just a little... I think it's just because I'm just like... The rules are still confusing, but I do understand the essential. I'm just impatient. So yes, I do have to go. Like I said, I will update Discord and I will send a like 30-minute notification. I will update Discord like way before I stream if I do. Other than that, have fun, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone, showing up. Thanks for fishing. But I gotta go. I literally have to go. It's not even like... I have no choice. I have no choice, unfortunately. Testing.